Prabhupada ki That was a good start. And thank you very much for giving me the unexpected opportunity. I was just about to go to bed to speak on Krishna consciousness. Yes, I came to this movement 51 years ago, actually, on the 1st of January 1972. Long time. And go ahead. Yeah?
Okay, तो कितने लोगों को ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए हिंदी में या सब लोग समझ रहे हैं सब कुछ ओके मैक्सिमम लोग समझ रहे हैं so we will go ahead with this okay
It has been a long journey. Somebody translate? Not necessary. Everybody understands English? Yeah. Oh, very good. It has been a long journey, and I'm happy I survived. And I have no plans to stop on this journey that Srila Prabhupada gave us. We are very fortunate, all of us. In fact, I asked Prabhupada one time this question in Germany. I was translating Bhagavad Gita into German with Satyananda Maharaj and Gauravani Maharaj. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, there's one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this verse, it says, one who chants the holy name has taken baths in all the holy rivers of India and visited all the holy places of India. So, this of course made me curious, and I said to Srila Prabhupada on the morning of Srila Prabhupada, in other words, is it true that I was in my last life in India? This is it. We concluded. He said, well. He said, maybe, he smiled. But then he said, what you really have to understand is that I created you good fortune. So I thought about it a long time. And here is the rap. That Lord Krishna, he spoke to Ganga 5,000 years ago, just before he was departing. Ganga was crying. Ganga Devi, she was crying, my dear Lord, now you go, and I'm alone. I need some warm water, for my soul. Yes. Ganga was crying, now you go, and people will, in Kali Yuga, deposit all their sins into my river, and I go down to Patal. Please don't go. Krishna said, well, I go, but don't worry. He said, there is a plan B. There's a plan B. And that plan B is, he said, you will see that in this age of Kali, actually, in due course of time, the chanting of my name becomes very prominent. He said, many people will chant, all over the world. This was number one. He said, that's number one of the plan. Number two, that Srimad Bhagavatam will be spread all over the world. And it's true, it's happening. Historically, we are part of this history. And it says in Bhagavatam itself that this Bhagavatam will cause a revolution in mankind. It's right there, black and white. So Lord Krishna predicted 5,000 years ago. And then he said, all this discussion is in Brahma Vaivata Purana. One of the 6 Puranas in Sattva, Guna. So he said, and then besides that, people will offer their food to me. People will offer their food, which is important because Krishna says, devotees of the Lord eat only food which is sanctified and sacrificed. Others who do, they eat sin. So it's an important ingredient, important anga of spiritual life to eat food which is sattvic and is offered to Krishna on top of it. He said, and this will go on. This was the first thing he said, this will go on for 10,000 years. So we have heard that before. It all comes from this discussion between Ganga Devi and Lord Chaitanya, or Lord Krishna. Now, Krishna, this is the theory, of course. But he also puts the theory into praxis by appearing 4,500 years later. He himself came. He's not just talking, he's doing it. So he came himself and puts it into practice, and he was chanting the holy name of Krishna, which to the public, which actually was a secret. All these years, that's what Bhagavatam is writing this 5,000 years ago, that to come to the chanting, you have to perform a huge amount of pious acts. And then Krishna will guide you. He will, Super Soul will bring you to somebody who will introduce you into this chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. That was the system. Therefore, this verse is from a bygone age, really. It's from the age of Krishna when Bhagavatam was spoken. You have to perform all these austerities. So the mantra was the Hare Krishna mantra. And in fact, many Vedic mantras, there's a secret. I think it was Yamunacharya, as far as I remember. He was instructed by his guru into this mantra. The guru said, don't tell anybody, it's a secret. And so he went to the rooftop and spoke it to everybody. And the guru became upset. He said, how can you do this? It's a secret mantra. Yeah? Yes, sometimes. Working? Yeah, good. Very good. So it's a secret mantra. So you see, it was a secret. And then Lord Chaitanya appeared, and we all know he broke open the stores of love of God. That's exactly what it is. He made the Hare Krishna mantra available to everyone, without discretion. And he gave us the opportunity to chant the Hare Krishna mantra to the public. Everybody could chant. Not only that, chanting Hare Krishna mantra is not easy. If you want to chant without offenses. And generally, there's a statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when tears come to our eyes when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, that means we commit offenses when chanting Hare Krishna mantra. It's really stated. Next verse in Adi Lila, you can note down if you want. It's in the 8th chapter, verses number 29 and 30. In 30 it says, but if one chants the name of Bonitai, of Lord Chaitanya, then there's no such consideration. Because the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya, Bonitai, Nita Gauranga, you cannot commit any offenses. They are on the same level from a spiritual point of view, like the Hare Krishna mantra. But you cannot commit any offenses. And so Bhaktisiddhanta's purport in that 30th verse of the 8th chapter of Chaitanya, he said, therefore, if we chant Hare Krishna mantra, we may commit offenses. When we chant the names of Bonitai, we cannot commit any offenses, and we come to a platform of pure chanting, which allows us then to chant Hare Krishna mantra perfectly. This is a secret, actually, a secret story. So Lord Chaitanya, he broke open these doors of love for everybody. And then it was passed on to the Goswamis and ultimately to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and then ultimately to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, who wrote this particular purport, giving us this inside story that if you want to chant Hare Krishna, you have to go down in front of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, particularly Lord Nityananda, who saved even the most fallen. And to come to this point of chanting. And from there it went to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, he took it up. Bhaktisiddhanta preached the Hare Krishna mantra all over India. He started many temples. Prabhupada took it to the West. In India, he could not find anybody who could respond to it. Because, you see, in Hinduism, there's no such a thing like Lord Chaitanya. It doesn't, people, now Chandra Thakur was saying that in one of his prayers, people say, who is this Nityananda? What can he do for me? That's a general attitude. They want to have God to do something for you. My dear Lord, somebody prays in front of the altar, Radha Krishna says, my dear Lord, please give me a house by the sea and a color TV, Jaya Jaya Jaya. Hey! So, give me something. So, it is different. In spiritual life, we are giving to Krishna. And so Lord Chaitanya gives us this facility to become givers, to become free from false ego, and Prabhupada distributed to everybody. And therefore, when he said to me, I created your good fortune. That's true, it's just not for me, just for everybody. Everybody who turns to Srila Prabhupada, his good fortune is created. And so, Brahmana Brahminikuna Bhagavan Jiva, the fortunate soul, takes to the chanting of his holy name, and then by the mercy of the spiritual master, the seed of Bhakti Lata is sown in his heart, and that seed grows as he's keeping chanting and worshipping Krishna. Finally it reaches the lotus feet of Krishna in Goloka. So Prabhupada, when he said that, there's a deep meaning behind it. I thought about it a long time. How is that actually? How does it fit together? And here it is, this is the purport. That Prabhupada, he was the missionary, he's mentioned. What is Bhakti Gita? My Bhakta Seva, I forgot. Was predicted by Lochandra Thakur, my Bhakti Sena will come and distribute this holy name all over the world. That's predicted. Nityananda, he looked over Jalangi, and he saw this huge temple coming up. This is 500 years ago. This is happening right now. We are living history. It's happening right now. So the holy name of Krishna is all over the world. We can go to any country. I went into the mountains of Kodaikanal or something in South India. There's a devotee living there in the wilderness. Very high, 22,000 meters high. And feet high, 2,200. And I heard from a valley there was a group of people chanting Hare Krishna mantra in the middle of nowhere. And one time we drove through the forest. We drove from Mathura to Bhubaneswar on a train. And the train stopped and there was a sign, Jharikand. And I realized we are in the middle of the Jharikand forest. And a forester came in. He sat down. And we talked. He said, I have one question. He said, if I go into the deep forest, there are some villages where people chant Hare Krishna mantra. How does that come? Because Lord Chaitanya went to Jharikand forest and he made even the animals dance in Hare Krishna mantra. And Prabhupada says, even a dog can chant the Hare Krishna mantra. I saw on the internet recently there was a nice cartoon. It was a cartoon. There were two dogs watching television. And in the television, there was Prabhupada. And so one dog says to the other, who is that? He says, that's Prabhupada. He says, even a dog can sing a dance in kirtan. It was very sweet. Even a dog can chant. And so Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya made the dogs dance. The animals, all animals. I have seen personally, I went to one big rainbow gathering in America, and we had a tent there with fire in the middle because it's very cold, very high up. So 60, 70 people would gather every night in this tent. We were serving chapatis and not chapati, puris with cream cheese and blueberry jam. It was very popular. And so when we chanted, there was a little dog. Her name was a girl, and it was Isabella. And every time she went crazy in the tent of her owner, and she ran over. And she sat down like everybody else in kirtan, she watched. And then when I sang the Hare Krishna mantra, she was quiet like everybody else. And everybody started singing, she went, woo! And then she was quiet. She realized everybody was silent. And then again, when everybody, woo! She sang, even a dog can sing. She was definitely a devotee from her last life. In Russia, we have the example, there's on the internet and YouTube, you see there's a Harinam party in Moscow, I think. And they're singing, and a dog comes, and he started jumping in kirtan, his paws up, and he became so ecstatic that at the height of the kirtan, he fell over and died. He died in the middle of the kirtan, What a fortunate departure for a dog, So this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra came to us by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And it didn't come for free. Prabhupada paid a very high price for that. I give you an example. In Prabhupada, some godbrother told me, who was it? Narottam Gupta, I think, his doctor. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan before he came to the West. He was very poor. He left his household life, everything, and he was very poor in Vrindavan, very poor. And he was living in this little room in Radha Damodar temple in the middle of winter on a straw mat. I mean, I need a heater in my room. I live in Vrindavan in winter. I have a heater. My mattress is this fat, at least, And I need a pillow, and I need this and that. He was lying on a straw mat on the cold floor. And he had very high fever. So his godbrothers came and said, you have to get a bed, otherwise you'll die. And Prabhupada said, I want to use every paisa for book distribution. Think about that. The Tapyanti Lokatapina, it is known that great personalities suffer for the sake of the people in general, is a verse. This is considered to be the highest worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see, Prahlad suffered. Jesus also. He suffered like anything. When he was crucified, he was very merciful. When he was about to be crucified, the people were crying. The women of Jerusalem were crying, and he said, don't cry for me, cry for yourself and for your children, because they were in trouble. He was not in trouble. He was his God, the Son of God, you see. So at any time, great souls of that caliber have performed great austerities to do something for Krishna. And this is actually what Krishna wants to see from us, that we do something for him. I want to read to you in this connection, just comes into my mind. There is a little sequence that Prabhupada spoke. If you give me a second, it's worth to hear that. Where's my spectacles? Very beautiful. 1 second. One moment. Yeah. Pradumna, his Sanskrit editor, asked Prabhupada in Boston, what if people don't want to hear our message? And that's a fact. Many people don't want to hear. I have a little film that I won't show you now, on a Harinam party, where you see these people walk by left and right. They're completely oblivious to the Kirtan. They don't care. Sometimes somebody comes to them like this, or somebody says, get a job. People are oblivious all over the world. Even in India, many people, they don't buy it, So Prabhupada, this message, what do people want to hear? Prabhupada, the people might not understand our message, but Krishna will be pleased, and that is our mission. See, to please Krishna. The most important thing is to please Krishna. That's bhakti, to please Krishna. They saw Jesus' mission was stopped, Prabhupada said. They killed him, but his mission was attained. He preached 3 years only, but so many followers. He pleased Krishna. Then he says, you must never be disappointed that no one is hearing Krishna consciousness. We will say to the moon, we will say to the stars, we preach to all directions, we will cry in the wilderness, because Krishna is everywhere. We want to have a certificate from Krishna that this man has done something for me. That's the point. You have to do something for all of you. You can do something. Something you can help in the preaching or preach yourself. Not popularity. We are not interested in popularity. He said, if a pack of asses say you're very good, what is the use of that? It's very direct. A pack of asses, We have to please Krishna with purified senses. So that was Srila Prabhupada. He said, we are crying in the desert, whatever it takes, to get this message out, to get people into Krishna consciousness, whatever it takes. And then miracles can happen. All of a sudden, Krishna produces situations that may appear in the beginning as, inauspicious or unfortunate, but actually there's a meaning in it, like Arjuna. Ultimately, he was preaching Bhagavad Gita. Krishna preached Bhagavad Gita for him. Is it for me?
Just to cover the player. Just to cover it, probably not anything.
And so I want to tell you a story in this regard, that how Krishna helps us in preaching. We were called by Prabhupada back in 1974 maybe, to preach in communist country, namely Belgrade, Yugoslavia, communist. And there was a book fair Prabhupada found out in Belgrade. Go there and preach. Bring as many books as possible. So we were delighted to go into a communist country. We come to the border with 5,000 Upanishads in the back of our van. And the custom officer said, are you out of your mind? He said, this is a communist country, you don't bring these books into this country. I said, please, I give you some money. No, nothing of this sort. He said, please, let us go. He said, no. I said, but we are invited here. We have an invitation to the book fair in Belgrade. He said, okay, there's a number, let me call. We called. He said, yes, they say you can come, but you cannot bring more than 5 books. So we were screwed. We were really upset. So then Krishna took over. It was all Krishna's plan. I realized all of a sudden there's another border crossing, maybe 100 kilometers down the road. We went there, and then all of a sudden, while we parked maybe 100 yards before, I said, Chakravarti, my Bhagavad, I said, I'm feeling really hungry. You have something? He said, some chapatis in the back. I said, eat some chapatis. If you're hungry? He said, yes. Before, all of a sudden we felt inexpressibly hungry. And so we made this chapati, he made the chapatis, and I was eating. The window was open, the dog smelled the chapatis. He was guided by the super soul. Here's food. The dog sat there, and the dog can look at you like this, and so I threw him a chapati. He ate it. I threw him another one. He devoured it. I said, Chakravarti, I will not do it. So I lured the dog to our window and grabbed him by the paws and pulled him inside the car in the middle of the road. Chakravarti feeds his dog. We drove to the border. And I started this huge argument with the customs officer about this dog. That you cannot bring this dog. He has to go in quarantine. He said, the dog is my wife. You have to let him through. And it went on and on. He said, please let this dog. He said, you can't. The dog has to. You cannot bring a dog into the. I said, if I let the dog out, I can go. He said, you can go. And so we rode with 5,000 Upanishads into the communist country. Because the super soul covered this man in such a, this guy does nothing else but all day looks in the back of cars. The super soul didn't allow him to do that. And so we rode into this country, and this is just one example how Krishna is helping when we preach Krishna consciousness, even a little bit on this path. The Sable Man from the great disciple in Prabhupada in London, he told us that Yadidikataka Krishna Upadesh, everybody can preach in some way and do something for Krishna. So you see how this prediction that Prabhupada gave, I create you good fortune, is true for everybody. We are very fortunate. Today I asked some of the devotees, I said, remember your friends in primary school? Yes. Secondary school? Yes. High school? Yes. Where is everybody? Where are your friends from the university? Nobody's here, right? They're all gone. Where are they? Solidly in mind. But you are here. And that means you got Krishna's blessing. You're here. Anybody who is here in this room, you got God's blessing to be here. It's very special. Out of millions, he says that among 1,000 people, one person pays attention. And about thousands of such people, one person sees me in truth. It's very rare. Because this is the people in this room, if I see, particularly in India, these hundreds and thousands of young people that come to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada used to call them the flowers of the nation. They're the flowers of the nation. Very special. And so if you are on board here with Srila Prabhupada in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, you're an extremely fortunate person. Very fortunate. And we should just grab it. We should take that good fortune. Prabhupada gave us a ticket to the spiritual world. If you start chanting Hare Krishna regularly, you have a ticket. But you have to work for the visa. That you have to do. Prabhupada told us. You got the ticket, but you have to work for the visa. That's the next step. So we have to use our life in this way to somehow or other come to Krishna consciousness and make our life perfect. And so I thought that to end this little lecture that I gave you as an introduction, based on Krishna's mercy, I had so many other things in mind, but I thought I should show you a little film, and that is beautiful, describing the Bhagavad Gita. It was a performance of Bhakti Maharaj with his students, artists. One second. Is my password there? Yeah? You see it. There's five dots? Yeah, this is called a senior citizen password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't forget it. So let's go down this road. So here's a drama. It's called the Bhagavad Gita, concise. I hope it is loud enough. So how do we get this as loud as possible? You need a microphone, isn't it? You give me a microphone?
No, Prabhuji, they can do.
He can do
He
it?
can manage.
Should I keep on going?
Yes.
Adina. Turn this light off.
Light off. Light off.
Good? Not loud enough. Louder.
As you have ordered, I brought you between the two armies, the Pandavas and the Kauravas.
You have to get me a
See
microphone here.
the opposing Kauravas.
Watch it. He's becoming mental.
Yes.
Krishna, how can I counterattack with arrows and battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my respect? It would be better to live as a beggar than to challenge my teachers. killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. They're all standing here, looking. I'm lost, confused. I cannot dispel this grief even if I win a prosperous kingdom. Krishna, I refuse to fight. I must let go of my cherished Gandiva bow. Tell me what to do.
In this war,
In this
no
world,
one will die.
No one will die.
no one will die. In this war, no
You are
one will
speaking
die.
from another level of understanding.
Yes, and you are speaking from the position of duality, from the position of stress, and before that, happiness. These emotions arise from sense perception, happiness, sadness, fame, infamy, cold, heat, winter, summer. They are mere dualities. They are extremes. Arjuna, this is a world of duality and change. The body also changes. Now you must change. So change. Once you were in the body of a very small child. Then you grew up to become a little wild. Yeah! Woo! Your body as a youth then showed all this passion. When people carry on in a certain kind of passion. And then you took the body of a man. Energy went to responsibility as you planned. Before long, your body gets quite old. You then exit to enter another life of gold. The body will perish, but you will not. What I tell you is very good food for thought. The soul is immortal. It will persist. It cannot be injured by sword, or by fist, by fluid, or water. It cannot be drowned. By fire, not burned like ashes to the ground. By wind and air, it cannot be dried. No method of destruction will work if you try. So, you really should not lament for the body that lived in time well spent. Start to focus, 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 as a warrior would do, or else there will be ridicule towards your family and you. The Kauravas are watching every move that you make. It's a matter of duty you're obliged to take. If you hesitate when something needs to be done, you receive the reaction, and that is no fun, no fun, no fun. Action and subsequent reaction is called karma. And when we act as expected, it's called dharma. So, do your dharma. Avoid the karma. Do your dharma. Avoid the karma. The world, with all its changes, will never come to an end. I'm telling you this because you are my friend.
Yes, we are friends.
Transcend, Arjuna. Do not be affected by these changes and dualities. And do not be taken by mundane pleasures that have a beginning and an end.
Krishna, are there some people existing that do transcend?
There are many. They are I'm going to present to you some images. Ganesh, please. Now, watch the water flow. Image 1. The lotus lotus. The lotus is a flower, always surrounded by water, yet it remains dry. We can be in this world, but not of this world. Be in this world, Arjun, but don't get ensnared by it. Transcend, my friend. And here comes image number 2, the tortoise. The tortoise likes the water. He also likes the land. And when he feels threatened by danger, he draws his limbs within his shell. Similarly, when temptations strike, withdraw the senses. Protect yourself. Transcend, my friend. And look, another stream. Many streams spill into the ocean. Image 3. A mighty, mighty ocean! Yet the water remains at one level. Many desires may enter into the mind, but one must maintain one's equilibrium. Transcend, my friend.
The mind is chanchalam.
Yes, Chanchalam.
It's here. It's there. It's everywhere.
Make it your friend. The mind is an enemy when it becomes your dictator. In a practical way, one must take a line of discipline, find a peaceful place, clear the mind of fear and lust, to be like a flame in a windless place where it does not waver. Then by the pure mind, rejoice in the self.
But my mind wanders.
Wherever it wanders, withdraw it like the tortoise and bring it back under the control of the self.
I must insist. I find the mind is chanchalam, restless.
That's the war you have to fight.
I believe that to control the mind is more difficult than harnessing the wind.
Oops, sorry. It is difficult to control the mind, but don't get so mental about it. Be patient. Be neutral. See all in this world as one, that I am the source. See mere stones and gold to be the same.
These lessons are very good.
Yes, I've given them for quite some time, even to the sun god, long, long ago.
Krishna, you're more than just a teacher. How can I truly understand you?
Through bhakti, through devotion. Arjun, if you could simply see the sacredness behind everything, then bhakti is simple. Take a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, and offer it in devotion.
So Hare Krishna,
It's that
Prabhu,
simple.
and ladies, we
Of
have
all
to
forms
cut
of
the film
yoga,
here,
bhakti
because we're
is
running out of
the
time,
most
unfortunately.
sublime.
But you can see this film on the internet. Can we switch on the light?
Still struggling.
Light?
Everyone is struggling with the 5 senses and with the 6
Can you
senses.
light?
The mind.
And
Switch light.
here it is.
Light.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can find this film on the internet. It's called Gita Concise. Let me just play the end. I show you the end of it. It's very well sitting there. Come here. Let me go to the end. Krishna shows you the reform. And then we come to the end. Here.
Rise out of the soul, Arjuna. Be Be a spirit free from darkness, passion, and even grease. Act as an instrument and enjoy the taste of sweet surrender.
Thank you very much for coming. As I said before, you can see this on the internet, Gita Concise by Bhakti Mark. It's a beautiful film. In the middle, there's a lot of things we had to cut out, unfortunately. And it's something you can download on the internet, on your computer, you can show it to people on many occasions. And so I thank you very much for coming, for this little introduction to Krishna consciousness. And now, if you give me the harmonium, let's have a little kirtan for the end.
तो हम लोग सब प्रभु जी का धन्यवाद करेंगे। प्रभु जी ने कितना अच्छा रियलाइजेशन शेयर किया और वीडियो दिखाया भगवद गीता के ऊपर। तो जो आपने वीडियो देखा उसके आधार पर एक बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग ड्रामा बाकी है और कीर्तन भी बाकी है। प्रभु जी अभी अमेजिंग कीर्तन करेंगे और दुनिया भर में अनेक कंट्रीज में प्रभु जी संकीर्तन करते हैं। तो अभी हम कीर्तन प्रभु जी से सुनेंगे।
Okay, 1 second. Just before I go, I would like to show you a 30 seconds film about life. What is life? From the beginning to the end. Here's a birth. Oh, one more. You have to see this one. There's another good one. Show you this. It doesn't happen. 1 second. No? Sensitive.